Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to get access to all videos inside the user's device and display it inside a list view builder and play it inside an AV player view controller for iOS and XO player for Android. So this is the output. So this is for Android. So if I click on get all videos, firstly it will ask me for the permission of the Photos app, and I will allow full access. If you limit the access, then it won't work. So if you give full access, it will show all the videos which are present. So here I am displaying a thumbnail as well as a title for that particular video, and if I click on any particular video, here you can see that it opens an AV player controller and starts playing the video. Similarly for the other videos as well. So yeah, this is for iOS, and for Android you will have to request for access manage external storage. Because of scope storage permission you can't get access to all videos, that's why you have to request for manage external storage permission. And if I click on get all videos, it will navigate me to the settings app, and here the user have to manually allow access to all files. And once he does that, he can just go back, and here you can see I'm getting access to all the videos, and I'm displaying a thumbnail as well as the title for that video. And if I click on any of the video, it opens an XO player and starts playing the video. So yeah, that's about it. Let's get started. So as usual, I have created a Flutter application. Next, here inside pubspec.yaml I have added this go router dependency as well, because this go router dependency will be used only for Android, because we want to navigate from one screen to another screen. It won't be used for iOS because the AV because once we click on an item in iOS, it opens a new view controller, so we don't need to display a new screen for that. But for Android, it is a native view, and that's why I have created a separate screen for Android, and I'm navigating to that screen. So that's why I'm using this go router dependency. Next, here I have created my home page widget, and I have here this is the data. I don't think we are using this data, sorry, I have created this extra variable. Next, I have created this method channel called video picker platform, and I have created this list as well, because once we get all the video list on the native side, we are sending it back to the Flutter side. Next, this is the text button for it, and inside so this is just a text button, and this is the text for it, like get all videos. And on pressed, here you can see I'm clearing all the list first. If there is any data to it, then I'm invoking a method called pick video. Then the data, so once we get a list on the native side, I'm converting it back to string and sending it over to the Flutter side. That's why I'm replacing this brackets which are present at the start and the end of an array or of a list, and I am also removing this comma as well, and I am converting it to a list of string. Now for Android, what we have to do, if it is an Android, we can directly convert it to a list, but for iOS we have to add this replace this double quotes as well with nothing, then only we will convert it to a list. Okay. Next, inside list view builder, here you can see I'm using an expanded widget, and only if the list is not empty, then only show the list view dot builder, and the shrink wrap is to set to true. And inside item builder, here you can see that I'm first getting the first data. So like this is little bit confusing, because if you see how I'm sending the data, so for Android, if you see I'm sending the ID, the URI as well as the name, but for iOS I'm only sending the ID as well as the name, because with the help of ID I can find both the video as well as the thumbnail for iOS. But for Android we require the ID as well as the content URI for loading the thumbnail, and the video content URI also for playing the video. Okay. So next thing which you have to do is and I have also added this @ because there could be a chance that your name would contain a space, and in my case it did contain a space. That's why I had to use this hack. if you want, you can use a data class as well if you want. Like I have created this data class, but it would add unnecessary complexity. That's why I have tried to avoid it. Um yeah, it's a little bit confusing, like getting the list in a form of string from native side, then filtering it out on the React, on the Flutter side. That's a little bit hacky way, but you can use your own logic whatever you want to. Like this video is not about how to convert a string to a list, but more about how to pick videos and play it. So that's what I'm doing here, because I have added this at the rate because the name might contain a space. That's why I have added it, and I'm splitting the data on that form. And if it is an Android, here you can see I'm using the Go router to push to a new screen, and this is the first data, which because the because the index one will contain the URI, right? And for iOS, the first index would contain the identifier, and from that identifier we will get the actual video to play. That's why I'm using invoke method, and we don't require the Go router for this. Also, before this homepage widget, I have created this router, so you will have to create a router like this. Okay, and here you can see I'm taking a variable inside my video page widget, and also inside this material app you will have to use material app dot router, and you will have to add these 3 lines over here as well. Next, what you will have to next what I have done, I have just taken a padding, I have taken row as well as size box, and here I have created my image view widget, which is a custom widget I have created. I will just show you in a bit, but it requires an image URL and ID. Like for iOS it only requires the ID, but for Android it requires the image URL as well. So if you check, for iOS I'm passing the same data in both cases, but for Android I'm sending the ID as well as video content URI, because there has been changes in how you load the thumbnail for Android on depending on what version you are on. And for text, I am just displaying whatever text it is. So the text is on index 1 for iOS, and for Android it is on index 2. Okay, and I have just set the item count, and here is the size box for it. Next, I have defined this my image view dot dart. So here you can see it is taking an image URL as well as ID, and I am assign it to our creation params map object. Then this is like boilerplate code which you have to write whenever you are creating a native view. Only make sure your view type is same both on the Flutter side as well as on the native side. Next, I have defined a my video page. This will be only used for Android, and here I am just referencing our my video view widget which I have created, which takes a video URL, and this video view again will be only for Android specific. So here again I have same thing as usual, like creating a native view. Here you have to define an identifier, and here is the Android view as well as this is the UI kit view, and here we are sending the video URL. So same identifier, make sure you use it on the native side as well as this identifier should be same. Once you do that, just open the Android folder inside Android Studio, and here inside permission you will have to add these 2 permissions. Okay, so this manage external storage permission will give access to all the files. Because of scope storage changes, we have to do this. Next, sorry about the background noise. Next, inside build.gradle, here you will have to add these 3 dependencies. So first one is coil dependency for loading image inside image view. This 2 is for playing the video, so exoplayer dependency, that is the media 3 dependency, and this 2 because we need to use the register for activity result, and we need to convert our Flutter activity to Flutter fragment activity. So go to main activity over here, and here you will have to convert to a Flutter fragment activity. I have created a variable for method channel result, as well as I have created a list as well. Now if you are depending on what version of Android you are on, so if you are on Android R and above, you will have to use this method to get the access to all permission. If below Android R, then you will have to use this permission, you will have to use this way to get access to all videos. Okay, next here but once we get the permission, it calls the same method called get all videos, and here we are requesting manage external storage permission. So here you can see if it is greater than Android R, move the user to the settings activity. If not, ask for read external storage permission. And here we are checking whether that permission has been granted properly or not. And inside configure flutter engine, I have just registered our my image view class over here. Okay, and make sure you use the same identifier what you have defined it on the flutter side. And here I have registered my video view as well. Make sure you use the same identifier. And here this is our method channel video picker platform, which calls the pick video. So once you click the button, this method gets called. And here, depending on permission has been granted or not, if permission already granted, we call get all videos. If not, I am requesting for the permission. And if you are on below Android, we are requesting for read external storage permission. And inside get all videos, here you can see I have defined first clearing the list, then we have to define our video URI. Then here you will have to define what all data you need from our media store video class. Then I have defined a cursor based on that, because we have to pass the URI as well as the projection. Once we get the cursor, we will get the ID, display name, data as well as the duration, and we will loop through it. So here you will get the ID, name. You can, if you want, you can use the path or duration as well. I am not using it, but if that's a requirement for you, you can add it to this list and display it on the flutter side as well. And this is the content URI, like the actual video URI. And given that our name in my case contained a space, that's why I'm using this double @ just to be separated. It could very well be possible that the name might contain @, then this logic will fail completely. But yeah, just use some kind of an identifier which will help you separate all these variables. If you want, you can use this data class like this, but this would be a lot of work for you on the flutter side to clean it all up. Next, here as you can see, I'm converting the list to string and sending it back to the flutter side. Next, here I have defined this my image view factory class. Like, this is boilerplate code which you have to define whenever you have to define an native UI view. Similarly, for video view as well, I have defined a factory class. Next, I have defined inside my image view. Here you can see that I'm creating an object of my image of an image view and returning that image view. I'm setting some layout params, and the reason we require, so here you can see we require the image URL as well as the image ID. So depending on what version you are on Android, you will get the thumbnail. And here you can this is how you will load the thumbnail inside an image view. Okay, and so this load method is coming from that coil dependency which we are using. And if you check my video view, I'm using a linear layout. Then this is like boilerplate code for exo player. Here we are creating our player view, returning our linear layout. In dispose, we are releasing our player view, then setting some layout params, assigning it to linear layout, initializing our player view, then adding it to our linear layout. Then inside setup player view, we will get the video URL from flutter side. And here you can see I'm setting up the player, then initializing our player. And if you want, you can use this hide system UI once the player start playing. If you want, you can use it, otherwise don't use it. And this is for releasing the player. So yeah, that's it for Android. Now for iOS, what you will have to do is, I will just stop this. For iOS, what you will have to do is, firstly you will have to go to runner info.plist, and you will have to add this photo library usage description permission. Next, inside app-delegate.swift, import photos, AV foundation as well as AV kit. I have created an array to store all the data which we will get about for all the videos. Then I have defined a controller as well as a result, and here I have defined some request option as well as an image manager. Then is network access allowed, I have set it as true because sometimes it might be present inside iCloud. And also make sure you will get only those videos which are present inside your Photos app. If your videos are present inside Files app, those won't be visible for you. Okay, typically a user will store his videos inside the Photos app. Like accessing the Files app, it's actually little complicated. And yeah, because you can't get access to the Files app completely. If you know the path where exactly it is the file, it is inside the file path, then I think you can get it. But how can we know where exactly it is in the Files app? So that's and you will have to add a recursive function, all that stuff. Like I'm not really sure whether we need, I don't think we need access to the files app. Okay, we should respect the user's privacy as well. Next here I have registered my image view. Okay, and here I have defined our controller, and here this is our method channel. The once pic video is called, we are requesting photo library permission, and if you remember for iOS we call this play video method as well. So here we send the identifier. Okay, and once we get the identifier, we find the asset for it, and using the once we get the asset, we convert it to an AV URL asset, and here you can see I'm initializing AV player view controller and then playing the video. And here you can see so once you call pic video, we are first requesting photo library permission, and once photo library permission, here you give all the access, then we are calling fetch videos from library, otherwise I'm just printing it to console. And here you can see that I have created ph fetch options, and this we are fetching only the videos, then assigning from that we are getting the asset, from that we are getting the asset resources, then I'm just identifying the local identifier, and here also I'm using @. Be careful, it could be very well that your identifier or video name contain a @, then this logic will break completely. I don't think the local identifier will contain a @, but video name might contain. If you are trying to append some other properties over here, then the if video name also already contains @, then your logic will break. Okay, and here I have appended our video name, and I am sending the data back to Flutter side as a string. And here I have defined our factory class. Again, this is boilerplate code for our image view. Like you will have to write this boilerplate code whenever you are defining a native iOS view. And this is our my image view native view. So I have defined a UI view as well as an UI image view. I'm initializing our UI view, and once we get the image URL, we call the create native view. Here I'm initializing image UI image view, adding it as a sub view. I have defined some NS layout constraints. Then we call get photo in library, because we don't have the image URL, we have the local identifier. Okay, and once we get the local ID, I'm getting the asset for it, and once we get the asset, we will get the actual image, and I'm just displaying it inside an image view. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.